Welcome to the kitchen table, the place where the jankiest budget decks battle it out in a gauntlet for bragging rights and most of all for your viewing pleasure. Predict the outcome of the matches and you might win a booster pack sent to you by our sponsor Card Market. The only thing you need to do is predict the winner of the next match. All info is in the description below the video. This time we'll see a battle between man's best friend and a bunch of annoying bugs. Dog Tribal versus Insect Tribal. The dog deck is a deck that plays 3 colors. Alpine Houndmaster fetches a lot of other dogs and the pack leader will boost them. There are also some legendary dogs in the deck and a big dog called Underworld Cerberus. This is a tribal deck with cards like Shared Animosity and a little bit of premium removal. The insect deck is a mono green deck that ramps and gets a lot of forests into play, and those forests we want because we have cards like the Scoot Mob. Now with this deck we can go tall with Crash of Rhino Beetles, or we can go wide with cards like the Hornet Queen, a fan favorite, and the Ant Queen. And we're on our way. Insect player has 3 lands and a small insect, so that's good. And we also see some lands with the dog player, so we can have a game on our hands. Dog player starts with a plains and onto the insects. Oh, there's a Scoot Mob, that's always a nice draw, and that will be also the play. The little 1/1 insect will get bigger if there are 5 or more lands. Back to the dogs with an Igneous Cur, a 1/2 that can get bigger, and we head back to the insect player. Good fast pace, and we will see a Xantic Swarm. It's a 0/1 flying insect, and it's an interesting one because when it attacks, the defending player can't cast spells this turn. Back to the dogs, and here is the pack leader. All dogs +1/+1, and the Igneous Cur is attacking. So 2 damage, and back to the insects. Third land is the draw, and let's see, we'll have now a Blanchwood armor on the Xantic Swarm. So the little insect isn't as innocent anymore and will attack for 3 damage. Back to the dogs. What is the draw? It's a Temple of Malice, and that means we'll scry, and we saw a nice removal spell in Source to Plowshare, so that will definitely stay on top and we'll have an attack. And the Igneous Cur is getting boosted, so quite a bit of damage coming through. Back to the insects now. Another land is the draw. It's nice for the Scoot Mob and also nice for the Blanchwood armor. 4 damage, 13-12. Nice match so far. No clear favorite. Shadow Blood Ridge is a multicolor land, and that will be needed for the species specialist. And now another attack, I assume. Yes, another attack, and that will be 4 damage. I don't think we're going to see a block by the Scoot Mob because it will get bigger. Not this turn, because you have to have 5 lands on the upkeep. But here is a Crash of Rhino Beetles, 5/5 with trample, and the insect player was declaring attackers, but here is the Source to Plowshares. It needs to be played right now because the Xantic Swarm would otherwise prevent the player from playing his removal spell. Some life gained, and 13-13 now. Back to the dogs. What is the draw? Another plains. And now another attack from all the dogs. And the species specialist is attacking as well. And a block with the crash of Rhino Beetles to prevent a lot of damage from the Igneous Cur. And now 4 damage. And back to the insect player. The draw is a creature, a land is played. We don't have to forget that the Scoot Mob is getting 4 counters now, because we had 5 lands at the upkeep. And here is a Vorapede, a very aggressive insect with vigilance and trample, and also undying, meaning when it dies it will come back with a +1/+1 counter on it. Back to the dogs. A little bit of mana flooded at the moment. Very interesting board state. The dog player has Pack Leader, so it will prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to dogs. So we could say we can attack, because the Igneous Cur is also a dog that can become very big. But then again, the attack on the way back would be lethal, because we have a Scoot Mob that would be 9/9. Interesting attack. The dog player is bluffing something, attacking with the Pack Leader. Is the insect player going to take the bait? No, he's going to block with the Vorapede. So nothing will happen. Damage will be prevented. And it will leave a little bit of an opening. So it's a tricky play from the dog player. Scoot Mob now has 4 more counters. This is a 9/9 insect swarm. And let's see, we'll have first an Antuco Cultivator. Just a 2/2, no forests to discard, no cards to draw. Will there be an attack? From the insects now. They can put on the pressure because they will have a blocker. And the Scoot Mob and the Vorapede will attack. No blocks would be lethal, so we need to have a block, and we'll have a double block with the Igneous Cur. That will get boosted, and the Species Specialist. But here is the trick, because they will fight as one. They will both get +1/+1 and indestructible, killing the Scoot Mob swarm. But Vorapede still does 5 damage. So now on the way back, the insects have some blockers. The draw is a Hound of Griselbrand. Interesting, also a creature with Undying. But now first the attack. Pack Leader and Igneous Cur, a lethal combo with all the mana open. No damage will be dealt from the insects to other dogs. So the Cur will boost. Just with 2 mana, this will be enough for lethal damage to the Vorapede. 2 damage from the Pack Leader. Vorapede will come back, slams down the Hound of Griselbrand, the dog player, and back to the insects. The draw, a Castle Garenbrig. And that will be a land that will allow 2 big insects in the hand of the insect player to be played. Which one will it be? Let's see. I see 6 mana, 7 mana, and it will be a fan favorite. It will be the Hornet Queen. Now Queen Bee will bring along some worker bees, some flying insects with death touch, and usually this would be game over. But we have a Pack Leader on the other side, and this one is preventing all combat damage. Now the attack from Vorapede, Hound of Griselbrand will block, and the Vorapede will die, and the Hound of Griselbrand will come back. Now the Species Specialist will do some research and get a card for the dying Hound of Griselbrand, and this is a Blazing Hellhound, and this is bad news for the Hornet Queen. Back to the dog player now. Another card, another Pack Leader is the draw, and we're going to see Pack Leader number 2 hit the battlefield. And I think the Insect Queen is going to cry if she's going to see the next card being played, the Blazing Hellhound. Here he is. 4/3 and sacrifice another creature. Blazing Hellhound deals 1 damage to target creature or player. An amazingly strong ability in this board state. Are the insects going to survive this turn? They are still on 7. And I think they will have enough blocks to survive. Attack with 3 dogs. Igneous Cure, one of them now gets +2/+2. Another pack leader with +1/+2. And then of course Hound of Griselbrand, which is a 6/6 double striker. So those two, the Igneous Cure and the Hound, will get a block. And then 3 damage from the pack leader. So no lethal damage, no lethal attack. Now back to the insect player. What is the draw? Oh, it's a land. That is not the solution. That's not good news. Because the Blazing Hellhound will have some defense. Living Hive is still the play. An attack with the Hornet Queen and 2 bees. But the Dark player in control. He knows this was the last hooray from the bees. They are out of honey. Back to the Dark player. Vanquisher's banner will act as a victory flag because the Blazing Hellhound will put some dogs into hell, taking the insect player with them.
KO!
Now the pack leader and his buddies will meet a big worm on their way to the finals. But first, turtles versus ninjas. Predict the winner of the next match in the comments and check out the deck decks below. And of course, always keep it casual. See you next time. Bye.